give you a clue, the twin institutions in Eden was what? The Sabbath and marriage, yeah? And I don't have to tell you how blitzed that's been since the inception of time, especially in our 21st century, yeah? It's like a lotto. You can't say how long you're going to be married for nowadays, because people are making ungodly choices which compound the problem, and even in the church. So we're marrying due to our own emotional instinct. Oh, I've fallen in love. So I've fallen in love, but if I seek God's guidance to who I'm going to love with, am I waiting for him to send me the right one? Or am I going by my passions of what I see? Yeah? You can buy a car out of seeing it, because the car is going to do what you want, but you can't say it with a human being, right? So we have to be careful there, and that's one of his number one targets. So, yeah, just a minute. So let's not let the enemy fool us or do anything that's going to cause us to fall unnecessarily. We need to know his tricks by now, to know what he's about. Coming. One is technology is a bit slow today. Right. So I'm just going to read a few excerpts to give you an idea of what I'm talking about regarding what the Spirit of Prophecy has to say. I would tell you when to scroll down, yes? Dear Christian friends, as I have given a brief sketch of my experience and views, published in 1851, it seems to be my duty to notice some points in that little work, also to give more recent views, early writings, 85.1. On page 33 is given the following. I saw that the Holy Sabbath is and will be the separating wall between the true Israel of God and unbelievers, and that the Sabbath is the great question to unite the hearts of God's dear waiting saints. I saw that God had children who do not see and keep the Sabbath. They have not rejected the light upon it, and at the commencement of the time of trouble, we were filled with the Holy Ghost as we went forth and proclaimed the Sabbath more fully. This view was given in 1847, when there were but very few of the Advent brethren observing the Sabbath, and of these but few supposed that its observance was of sufficient importance to draw a line between the people of God and unbelievers. Now the fulfillment of that view is beginning to be seen. The commencement of that time of trouble here mentioned does not refer to the time when the plague shall begin to be poured out, but to a short period just before they are poured out, while Christ is in the sanctuary. At that time, the work of salvation is closing, trouble will be coming on the earth, and the nations will be angry, yet held in check, so as to prevent the work of the third angel. At that time, the latter rain or refreshing from the presence of the Lord will come to give power to the loud voice of the third angel and prepare the saints to stand in the period when the seven last plague shall be poured out. Right. So this is just distinguishing the events that will differentiate the little time of trouble, and then you have the close of probation, and then you have the plagues that are poured out, when probation is closed. So we have that important work, what she just explained there, proclaiming the Sabbath message, not the marriage message, but the Sabbath message, to let the world know that to receive the seal of God, you would need to be immersed in the Sabbath truth. Because what will cause the problem with us as saints of God is that we are going to be given a totally polarized opposite view to what the papacy wants to project. He wants to project a green Sabbath, a Sabbath where we worship earth, because we are the industrial nation supposed to be contaminating the atmosphere. And as a result of that, he wants to take us back to nature worship, which is a form of idolatry anyway, because we know that we should only worship God. It's in the Ten Commandments, yes. And he wants to commemorate that with a Sabbath law, right? Okay, so that's just one angle. It's impossible for me to tell you all the strategies they're going to use, but I can break it down so that a child could understand and know, yes? So he's using the climate change agenda to usher in the Sunday law, and is also, up to recently, bringing in what is called Project 2025. Has anyone heard of that? I need to read it to you just in case someone hasn't, from a secular point of view, and then I'll notice. I have it here. I think I do. Where is it now? Where is it now? Is it here? No. Where is it? That was really strong. I'll come back to that when I find it properly, yeah? But basically, we also need to go to the agenda of